Today I'm going to show you some advanced hip strengthening for patellar tendonitis. Now in previous videos we've talked about stretching and basic strengthening. You can go back to the YouTube page and check those out. But today we're going to go over some more advanced strengthening. So we're going to go over 3 exercises. The first one we're going to do is a squat. Now there are really 2 ways to do a squat. There's a knee back squat, which is much easier on your knee, though it's not as functional. And then there's a knee forward squat, which is a little more aggressive and we want to get to eventually. However, if you're still having pain with squatting, you probably want to start off with a knee back squat. So the knee back squat is we're going to start with our normal squat distance. It can be different for everybody. That's just the way your hips are made. Whether your toes are forward or toes are out, same thing. Everybody's different. Find what's comfortable for you. For me, I'm just about shoulder width distance. I like my toes turned a little bit out. And for the hip back squat, you're going to start by pushing your hips backward as far as you can, and then continuing to push back as you squat down to at least about parallel usually, and come right back up. If you notice, when I push my hips back, my knees really don't go forward very much at all. You don't want to lean too far forward with your torso. Ideally, you want your torso and your tibias to be about parallel and come right back up, okay? We're gonna do 3 sets of 10. Now, once your knees start to feel a little bit better, and you can do that without pain, you want to try to work into that knee forward squat or knees over toes. So for this one, you're just going to squat down. You're still going to push back a little bit, but you're going to let your knees naturally travel forward where they go past your toes, get into that same squat position, drop through your feet and come right back up. Either one you want to start with is fine. If you're having pain, go with the knees back. If it's feeling better, we're going to switch to a knee forward and right back up. That's the first exercise. The second is a lateral squat walk. So for that, we're just going to use some kind of a band. I love these Thera loops like this. We're going to step into it. You can have it in different places. The good beginner level is right here around your ankles. You can also put it around your toes for a harder exercise, or up closer to your knees for an easier exercise with a shorter lever arm. So to do this exercise, we're going to get in a squatted position, athletic position. We already want to have tension on the band. We're going to take a step with our lead leg, good size, and when we follow with our follow leg, we don't want to step so close that we lose tension on the band. We want to keep a constant tension. So replace, get some tension on the band, athletic position. We're going to take 10 steps to the left, keeping our toes forward, not letting our body sway, and then 10 steps back. And that's 1 set. I usually start people with 2 sets of those, work my way up to 3 sets. But it's torso still, no rocking side to side, toes stay forward, okay? That's the first 2 exercises. For our third exercise, we're gonna do some heel taps or step downs. Another great functional exercise, but really good for strengthening both the quad and the hip. We're just gonna find a step, catch our balance here. I like hands on hips, that way you're not using them for your balance. And it helps you to know if you're keeping your hips level, which you really want to do. Lift your toes on your leg that's going to drop. We're going to bend your knee, tap your heel, come right back up. Notice we're not putting weight on the leg. We're just tapping it, coming back up, and you really want to watch your knee to make sure your knee is not caving into the middle, but is staying out over your toe and your hip. Tap, right back up. Same thing as the squat. If these are painful with your knee traveling forward, you want to put a little emphasis on sitting back into it, moving your hips back, not letting your knee travel forward. Now again, this is an accommodation that we're going to make when we're having pain, but if you're an athlete, your knees have to go forward past your toes. So eventually, we want to work back into that knee forward step down, which is a much more explosive movement and is just necessary for all types of sports. So, for more detail on why we're doing these, the idea behind that pathology, stuff like that, go check out episode 3 of my podcast, the AVP Beach Volleyball Series, available on Apple Podcast or Spotify.